So develop your agility. By agility is developed not by walking and running and all that, not at all. It is the so-called yoga positions are precisely to improve the agility. What are yoga positions? Eccentric positions, non-normal positions of the body. Flexing the hands and the legs and the body in all possible probable directions. That is yoga. So do that. It has many other advantages also. So as a master thief, you have to develop the yogic body. Then many more. So master thief has to be agile in his walking, in his every body movement. Because as Nitya was about to say, he may have to creep through a small gap between a door or a window. Okay? And his every step has to be like the step of a cat, because there may be 6 or 7 people sleeping in that room, in many rooms. And there may be so-called dogs. He has to move in such a way that even the dogs, which can hear the sound of the minutest level, you should be like that. But most of the time, real thieves divert its attention. That's a different issue. But he has to move till that place in township areas where there could be dogs in the neighboring houses,
If that person is depersonalizing, then he or she may not have to redirect the attention to something else.
No, once again.
If that person can depersonalize himself or herself from that body which is moving, he or she may not have to turn the attention of the householders to anything else.
That's a very different point, ultimate point, true. But I said depersonalization not in the context of master thief. I just mentioned it by way. Even
when I was also thinking about these people who are never caught.
Yeah, exactly. The so-called psychopaths.
They are not that, I think.
Yeah, psychopaths. Let's say psychopaths or serial killers are seldom caught.
There is Sukumar and all. I think he may be thinking himself as somebody else. I think so.
Maybe thinking so. Anyway, for him, he is sure that he did not do that.
Yeah.
That's why, and when that is done, and that's a phenomenon which we discussed. That's an altogether different phenomenon. Yeah, even the most suspecting police officer will not decide on him. That's a different phenomenon. When you reach
when you took that grandfather clock, were you also in that state?
I don't know, deeper soul. It was not a conscious act. One has to be carefully manage the boundary between conscious and non-consciousness. It is as if you do not do it. Yeah.
Correct.
Something like that. That I remember. That was the latest thing. It is not I am doing it. That is the kind of self-attribution I do.
Sir, I was thinking that agility is also not to draw attention when they are walking on the street.
Exactly. Their walking style is such that nobody will notice them. I also trained myself for that for a long time. I told I wore the complete dress of a female and walked through MG Road, of course, at 10 o'clock in the night. As a result of that, even now nobody notices me. That's a different phenomenon.
Is it that invisible aspect that is working?
That we don't know, For us, we are visible. But many times I suspected that whether they see me or not. So doing that a lot of times, maybe. Anyway, whether they see me or not, they don't care. They don't give attention to me the way they pay attention to a local guy from Ur, for example, standing in the shop or standing in the queue of Tasmak. Didn't it?
Yes, sir.
I stopped going there because of that only. Yeah. Not even once I felt like anybody gave any care of me. Including people crowded around me. At least they should notice that I have this grey hair and elderly person. They should give at least some, some manners to allow me to put my hand through the hole and get the thing. And the guy standing there, he can see, he is standing at a height from compared to the queue. And he goes on looking at people and he never looks at me. Anyway, that's all just passing jokes. So I have wondered sometimes, so I felt really a little bit bad also. Maybe because I am an unnoticeable kind of a funny, useless fellow, or is it because of that? And I have gone there in varied dresses. Most of the time when you go outside, we have a better dress than anybody else in the queue. No?
Yes, sir, because when you are in Alandurai, you always dress in a jeans and a shirt, which is folded up, which is very different from what the normal populace, they would be wearing a dhoti or a soiled shirt or something, right? Or a juba.
Yeah. Even then they don't notice me. At least maybe in total about 10, 12 occasions in the last 5, 6 years, I had always sort of struggled to get the bottle. And in Alandurai shops, I even told to people, these shop owners are bloody useless people, and they don't look at you, they don't smile at you, and they look at and smile at only the regular familiar people. They don't have even the basic business sense, which I used to discuss with Amaya. No.
But you have been there for many years now,
Yeah.
so don't. Yeah. Even then.
Even then. Therefore, I don't go to those shops actually. I thought I am giving a so-called impression, kind of my hair and my mustache and my all these things. So I thought it would have a positive impact on them so that I would get some consideration. It has never happened. It has never happened. Even in the airports, I have been there many times. Nobody has noticed me. Nobody. Anyway, that's all different.
Is it because you don't want to be noticed?
That was already there even in the past, of course, even when I was young. Even when I was in New Indian Christian College as a student, I never wanted anybody to notice me. I never accepted anybody's comments. For example, I was a singer there, not a so-called good singer at that time, but I used to be on the stage. Then I created I acted in at least 3 or 4 plays, including one long play in the very first year. Then I was one of the very few who had jeans and shirts. Most of the students were wearing dhoti and shirt at that time. I'm talking about 1972. And then every year the college magazine contained my short story, which were all very, very unique class stories. And even I heard some teachers said their stories are better than that comes in Madhubhumi. But even then, no student, I don't remember even a single student coming to me and telling me, yeah, it was a good story. Something like that. I rather avoided it. I preempted any such comments. And of course, when I got so-called that rank, that medal and all those things, university event, the big event, when the photographers came and asked me to pose, I said no. So I was particular that I don't want to be in the attention of the world. And that's all my story, which are of no relevance in this context, which are not consequent. That's all happened maybe because of my tuning with the nature process from the very beginning. I have been wandering, I told you, I have been having the greatest luck and blessing to move around with a great genius tribal person named Pandyan, 6'4", something like a tall. I could never see his forehead. Tall he was, very broad chest, very huge body, very broad chest, all this I remember, even now very clearly, and a double-barrel gun in his back. And we have walked through very dense forest with a lot of agility, because we have to be very careful in our movement in the forest. So, many days I have moved with him, and many days, sometimes even for hours, he would just stand still at one place for some reason. Which he said, okay, but if you move, something may happen. That most of the hunters will have to be like that. They will be sitting at a place for hours together.